Have you ever looked at the FIFA rankings and wondered how one country is somehow above another, even though they seem worse on the pitch? How can a team move up without winning a trophy? Why does beating one opponent help more than beating another? And why do fans constantly argue that the rankings make no sense? Well, here's the surprising part. The FIFA rankings are not based on trophies, reputation, or how famous a team is. They're based on a mathematical system that updates after almost every international match. And once you understand the formula, the rankings suddenly make a lot more sense. So let's break down exactly how FIFA rankings actually work. First, let's start with the biggest misconception. Many people think FIFA simply counts wins and losses over the last few years and creates a table. In theory, that sounds reasonable. In practice, that's not what happens at all. Since 2018, FIFA has used a system called SUM. And if you're familiar with chess ratings, the idea is surprisingly similar. Every national team starts with a certain number of ranking points. When two teams play, points are transferred between them depending on the result. Win and you gain points. Lose and you lose points. Draw, and the adjustment is usually much smaller. Simple enough. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all victories are worth the same amount. Imagine Team A beats the number 1 ranked team in the world. Now imagine Team B beats a team ranked 180th. Both teams won. But should they receive the same reward? Probably not. That's why FIFA gives more credit for defeating stronger opponents. The harder the challenge, the bigger the potential gain. And the opposite is also true. Losing to a much weaker team can seriously hurt your ranking. You know the type. Those shocking upsets that make headlines around the world. The rankings punish those pretty heavily. But opponent strength is only one piece of the puzzle. The type of match matters too. This sounds simple. It isn't. A friendly match is worth far less than a World Cup match. Why? Because the stakes are completely different. A coach might experiment with tactics in a friendly. They might test young players. They might not even field their strongest lineup. But at the World Cup, every result matters. So FIFA assigns different importance values to different competitions. Friendlies have the lowest value. Continental tournaments like the Euros or Copa America carry more weight. World Cup qualifiers are even more important. And World Cup matches themselves are among the most valuable of all. This means one major tournament run can dramatically change a team's ranking. And that's exactly what often happens. Now let's talk about something that confuses a lot of people. Why don't rankings completely reset every few years? The answer is consistency. FIFA wants rankings to reflect long-term performance, not just a lucky month. If a team wins 3 games and then struggles for the next year, the system shouldn't suddenly treat them as a football powerhouse. Instead, rankings evolve gradually. Strong teams stay high by consistently getting results. Weak teams climb by proving themselves over time. It's more like building a reputation than collecting points in a video game. Although, let's be honest, fans still treat it like a video game leaderboard. There's another reason FIFA cares so much about rankings. They actually affect major tournaments. For events like World Cup qualifying draws, rankings can influence which teams are seeded. And being seeded can completely change a team's path. A higher ranking might help you avoid stronger opponents early on. A lower ranking could make qualification much harder. So these numbers aren't just for bragging rights. They can have real consequences on the field. Of course, no ranking system is perfect. Sometimes a team looks stronger than its ranking suggests. Sometimes a team sits surprisingly high despite not impressing many fans. Football is chaotic. That's part of what makes it fun. A mathematical formula can estimate strength. It can't predict every upset, miracle, or disaster. And honestly, that's probably a good thing. Imagine how boring football would be if the rankings were always right. So, let's go back to the question we started with. How do FIFA rankings actually work? They're based on a point system that rewards results, considers opponent strength, values important matches more heavily, and updates continuously over time. It's not about trophies. It's not about popularity. And it's definitely not about who shouts the loudest on social media. It's about performance. Consistent performance. The next time you see a national team move up or down the rankings, you'll know there's a lot more happening behind the scenes than most people realize. And who knows? Maybe the next big football nation is already climbing the rankings right now, long before the rest of the world notices. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more simple explanations of football's biggest systems, tournaments, and rules, make sure to subscribe. Because sometimes the most interesting part of football isn't what happens on the pitch. It's the hidden system behind it. Do not forget to like the video. See you.